like the advertisement of the concert and was written like Dio, the god of metal. Boss, what is heavy metal nowadays? Because you see, at least in Video Music Awards, there were like Green Day, you know, Meat Puppets, bands that are not never been heavy metal. And
right.
What's heavy metal? What's heavy now? What's hard rock now? What's Dio now? What's the band?
I don't have much of a voice left.
Oh, I'll do it for you. I'll do it like Vinny did. You see, when we play, right, when Vinny plays, he sings while he sings. He screams like that. And so when we finish, he can't talk anymore. And I always say to him, do you have a good gig, Vinny? Sing good tonight, yeah?
I'll go like this.
Well, I think that what heavy metal always was to me, because I grew up with it when it began. You know, Rainbow was considered to be a heavy metal band, and I guess probably still is. But when you compare Rainbow to Metallica, it's very, very different. When you compare, I think Sabbath should always be the rule of heavy metal. That was, as far as I'm concerned, Sabbath invented heavy metal. Tony Iommi invented heavy metal guitar playing. No one but Tony invented that. I think Tracy will probably agree with that as well. But I think that what we all were then, we were more musical. I think we thought more in terms of the music. There was more melody, maybe more content inside of what was being said. Today, it has turned to be, like we talk about Green Day, it's a punk band. You know, it's exactly what it is. I've already heard the Sex Pistols, and I thought they did it better than anyone. I don't think I need to hear that anymore. But I just wish they wouldn't call it heavy metal. Heavy metal to me will always be this monster stomping through your city, breaking feet, breaking the buildings, but still with musical ability, with content, with wonderful soaring melodies and all that to us, harmonies, everything together. That to me is heavy metal. But you know, other people have a different consideration for it, because young people today grew up in a different time than I did, and they accept and they look at heavy metal being something else. So perhaps to them, Green Day is a heavy metal band. I don't know.
So what can we expect from this new album? Is it going to be like the lineup that's going to record the album?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly that. What can we expect from the album, like ballads or heavy music?
Well, what we tried to do with the last album that we had, which was Strange Highways, we wanted to live in today's world with our music. It's very easy to reform and be the band you were 20 years ago, but now you're making old music that no one really wants to hear. If maybe people who are 20 years older might want to hear it, but you know, they probably won't buy it because they have lives to lead. They have families. Their social structure changes. So you have to, let's face it, we make music for young people. Young people buy and love the music that we make. And we're quite a bit older than they are. So we have to be smart enough to change with the times, but without being stupid. We will never be Green Day. We will never be a thrash band. We are what we are. We are what I described before, a great big band with a big heavy sound, but very melodic. So that's what this will be as well, but it's more progressive in ideas. We go to places that the young bands go to with their chord changes these days. Before there were rules that were set up. You must go here, you must go to Fever. They go, ooh, what's that? It's too progressive. But now the bands play and they go to places and you go, what's that? I like that because it means the rules are gone. No more, you don't have to do it that way. So that's what we do. We get to a point and we say, that's too safe, it's too easy, let's do something crazy. So we do that. So we try to keep our tradition of heavy metal music, but we've tried to be more progressive. And that's what this album will be. But again, as we talked about before we did all this, you mentioned to me that there's a song on a Rainbow album that you like very much called Rainbow Eyes.
It's in here. Long Live Brother Raw, yeah.
Richie will appreciate that. He needs the money. We decided that you know, there were enough people who liked what I did particularly on that song, that there was no reason why we who also like that kind of music shouldn't attempt to do that. So we have a song on the newest CD that will be much like Rainbow in the Dark. I think a very big surprise to everyone. But believe me, the rest of the album is not like that. It's very, very hard and very heavy.
For you, especially, like to come with Black Sabbath and to come with Dio, do you feel more free or?
Well, yeah, of course, you would always feel more free in a situation that, of course, I came into Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath had already had their own history and a lot of success with Ozzy in the band. So when you go into something that you've not created yourself, you are a little bit limited. You must do songs perhaps that, you know, of course, that you didn't write and songs that you didn't sing. So you try to do the best you can, but they're not yours, so you don't feel that they're that close to your heart. With this, we've created everything that we've done. All that we've done, the songs that you hear are things that certainly the Vinny and I have done together, and now, of course, we do them together now. So I do feel a lot more free. But I don't think the situation has changed. We play music, and it doesn't matter who we play it with or who we play it for, what band is, what it's called. We're musicians. We love to do what we do. But yeah, I guess we feel a little bit more free.
Sentiu o drama, né? Ron James Dio não está para brincadeira, é um cara consciente, trabalha há muito tempo já no ramo metal. Grande figura mesmo. Aguardo ansiosamente o novo álbum do menino. Antes de chamar o próximo bloco, que teremos mais Ron James Dio também. É, muito bacana. Vou mostrar algumas fitinhas aqui. Uma delas eu esqueci de trazer. Gala Dali. Gala Dali, uma banda muito interessante de Osasco. Portanto, atenção no Gala Dali. Também essa aqui, ó. Ulo Selvagem, que é da Bahia, Salvador. Somzinho interessante, bem bacana. Anões de Jardim, Hardcore de Curitiba. Muito bacana também. Adjustment, outra banda de hardcore de Curitiba. Também muito interessante, já conheci o som deles. Essa aqui foi uma demo, um ensaio no Estúdio Quorum, que chama. Tem essa banda que ensaia depois da gente. Anistia é o nome da banda, também me jogaram a demo. Ouvirei todos agora, com muito prazer. Perfeitamente. Vamos agora ao próximo bloco, daqui a pouco a gente vai voltar. Temos nosso breakzinho, já voltamos com mais Ron James Dio, mais uma pá de porrada na orelha, incluindo na Palm Def. Vai lá. Clássico, vai lá.
Come up with a title.
That's great. That the doors are open for this kind of style. Like if talking about media and radio and TV, do you think so? Or the doors are closing?
The doors are slamming shut.
Slamming shut.
Yes,
really?
they are. But I think it'll come back around. We find in America, and we can only talk about America because that's where we reside and that's what we see. Radio has just gone. There was a station, KNAC, which I'm sure you're familiar with, which is now a Latino station. And that was our heavy metal station. That was in Los Angeles. Now there are no more heavy metal stations in Los Angeles at all. The only station that plays a little bit is KLOS. But they are kind of a classic rock station. So we found that the opportunities to have the music heard and seen, MTV in America also gives not much consideration to heavy metal. Headbangers Ball is gone. So we don't have any opportunities anymore. That's the hard part. So it means that now we retreat. We have to play our music only for the people who always will love it and try to keep it strong. But it will come back around because, you know, as life is a circle, I've been in this business long enough to see heavy metal be very popular and then go away, and then be very popular and go away. And then we did Heaven and Hell album with Sabbath, and everyone said, you've made heavy metal come back again. And then it went away, and then we did it again. So it's like everything else. It'll come back around. But I think that the people have to be careful that they make good heavy metal music, or else people will stay bored with it the same as it is now.
So, and for the band, if you don't have like the help of radios and MTV, how did you get this like 14, 15 years old?
Well, we first try to do it by making an album that's going to be attractive to people, and I think one of the ways we do it is not only musically but lyrically. I think that lyrically, I've always been known for kind of fantasy monsters and dragons and things like that. But we don't live in that kind of world anymore. That was a time when things were not so bad. There were jobs for young people. People actually had homes to live in. And now if you look at the world, people live in boxes. There are no jobs for young people. They all come out of school, 50,000 people come out of school and all try to get the same 10 jobs. It's just impossible. So people are fed up. They don't want to hear people talking about how your dreams can come true because they know for them that it doesn't. They want to hear what it's really about. So I think that, you know, lyrically also I try to address what is happening today. The way they are dissatisfied, I think that the music should say that too, and it should say, yes, you have a right to be angry, but you know, you also have a chance to change it. So that's what we write about today, and I think that is a lot more attractive to people who are going through that kind of suffering right now. So through that, through the music itself, and through playing. We don't care where we play. We can play in a box. It doesn't matter to us. We're musicians. We want to play. You know, we have gone, like a lot of bands have, from playing for 50,000 people or from playing for 20,000 people in an arena to playing sometimes for 500 people in a club. It doesn't matter. You know, we don't have egos that allow us not to have to play. We only have desire to play our music. And I think that people these days don't want to go to arenas and see this. They want to be closer to the people that they love. And especially in our case, if we are looked upon as being some kind of legends at all, how much nicer it is to go into a small place and see that person has a pimple on his face, or that that sweat comes down.
Expression.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's a matter of making the music and playing.
Tô com o Dino Nobre, hein? É pra nós, realmente, é muito mais legal, assim, na minha opinião. A gente acabou de sair de um Hollywood Rock, você vê ali o geral e tal, né, de longe, mas quando você vai naquele showzinho mais pertinho ali a banda e tal, você vê todas as expressões, vê exatamente o que tá acontecendo em cima do palco. Muito bom, finalizamos assim a nossa entrevista com o Ron James Dio, mestre, grande voz, um cara absolutamente consciente, malaco velho, canta há muitos e muitos anos, já passou pelo Rainbow, Black Sabbath, ou seja, a carreira dele não é pouca bobagem. Enfim, pra finalizar aqui, quero mostrar mais alguns CDzinhos, teremos uma surpresa no final do programa. Esse aqui, ó, Fungos, lançando uma banda que tá muito na raça, Everywhere Fusion é o nome do álbum. Mais um do Fungos, hein? Os caras estão sempre batalhando por aí. Outra coletânea que chegou em minhas mãos, essa aqui, ó. Uma coletânea só de bandas, Stars of Rock, volume 2. Quem mandou foi o pessoal do Armas de Marfim, mas tem mais um monte de gente aqui. Tem Orquídea Negra, Second Fate, Estado Maior, Subúrbia, Marco Projects, Dáquila, Anno Domini, Pirose e Echoes. Várias bandas aí se juntaram para lançar um CD. É por aí mesmo. Quem não tiver condições de lançar o seu próprio, vai lá, se junte com outras bandas e lance uma coletânea que funciona também. Para finalizar, quem nos embalou com a trilha sonora, como diria Reverendo Massari, tá aqui, ó. The Best of Ron James Dio. Esse foi o homem entrevistado e esse foi o homem que a gente ouviu e viu também 3 videoclipes no decorrer do programa. Gostou? 3 ou 4? Foram 3, né? 3 ou 4? 3, exatamente 3 videoclipes, muito bem. Devia até clipe demais aqui. Para terminar esse programa, aí já que a gente falou assim de tocar em lugar pequeno, tocar em lugar grande também, teremos agora um trechinho para quem não viu. O único representante de peso desse Hollywood Rock foi exatamente White Zombie. É uma banda que quem já viu em clube pequeno falou, muito legal que passa aquele impacto, se bem que eles no estádio grande também não decepcionaram. Veja agora um trechinho e ficamos por aqui com esse Furia Metal. Valeu, até a próxima.